A journalist for Yahoo Sports got sent 6 full game tapes for Michael Jordan's season during the 1988 season. He won Defensive Player of the Year that season. Before he even watched the tapes, he looked at the stats. He was credited for 28 steals throughout those 6 games. He went and watched the game. He only actually had 12 steals.
This is a great example of newer NBA fans, which I myself am one of, accidentally revealing that they don't know anything about previous eras or, haven't actually watched any of these games while trying to slander them. Because notice at the beginning he says this journalist got sent 6 full NBA games from Michael Jordan's 1988 DPOY season, as if it's like a lost footage, like it's like lost media that he had to go to a warehouse and find an ancient VHS for him to find. Pretty much every game Michael Jordan ever played in his entire career is just available on the internet. You just need to search it up and you'll probably find pretty much every game he ever played in full just on the internet. It's not lost footage you have to go through, and these newer fans show the tapes and they'll show a low light from the 80s of this is what they're not showing us, we found the tapes, as if it's lost media when it's just been on the internet the whole time, and you showing that and claiming that it's footage they never showed us is footage that you've never seen. It's accidentally revealing that you don't actually watch these old NBA games, people who actually care about these old NBA players and actually go back to watch these classic NBA games like I do, and actual old NBA fans that were there to watch them. You accidentally reveal that you don't watch the old NBA games, that you're shocked that this person watched 6 full old Michael Jordan games. Oh my god, it's something ridiculous. Anyway, Johnny Arnett made this fantastic video about the Michael Jordan's 1988 DPOY season in full that I recommend you watch, but the overall gist of it is that yes, Michael Jordan's steals numbers were inflated during the 1988 season by the Chicago Bulls home stat keeper, but the 6 games that were handed out by this journalist were handpicked as the game that he had the most steals, because those were obviously the ones that would be the most inflated that he has the most steals in. But overall, Johnny Arnett looked at other games that were not chosen for this, about 10 more games, and overall deciphered that yes, his steals numbers at home were inflated by about double, but his blocks numbers were not inflated. So yes, as a 6'6" guard, he did legitimately average around 2 blocks per game, but his steals numbers were probably closer to about 1 to 2 steals per game than to the 3 steals per game that he was accredited for. So overall, in the 1988 season, Michael Jordan averaged around 1 to 2 steals and 2 blocks per game that he actually averaged, as opposed to the 2 steals and 3 blocks per game, 2 blocks and 3 steals per game that he was accredited for. But did this affect him actually winning DPOY in 1988? Did it probably affect it? Yes, slightly. But let's not act like people in the 80s were just looking at the stats and just choosing DPOY based off that this 1 or 2 extra steals per game was giving him the DPOY. Michael Cooper, the year before Jordan won DPOY in 1987, won DPOY averaging 1 steal and less than 1 block per game. Dennis Rodman, in 2 of the 3 years after Michael Jordan won his DPOY, won back-to-back DPOYs despite never averaging more than 1 steal or 1 block per game in his entire career. So overall, yes, Michael Jordan's numbers, at least in steals, in the 1988 season were inflated by the Chicago Bulls home stat keeper for his steals, not his blocks. But did this largely affect his DPOY winning case? I would argue probably not, because it's pretty clearly shown in DPOYs around the time Jordan won that they were not just looking at the stats and were not going to give him the award, or not just based off if he had 1 or 2 more steals. So yeah, that's my basic response to this, and if you want to see a breakdown of the 2013 LeBron DPOY case, then that's also a very interesting case. But no, by the way, I am not just a Jordan Glazer and LeBron hater, by the way. I think LeBron very much has a good case to be better than Jordan. I just think that this is not a good one.